Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be on my first trimester update. I know it's been a while. I've had a rough 6 months. So I got my first bout of morning sickness around 6 weeks, which was followed by nausea and then vomiting, and I thought that was pretty normal until it started becoming quite excessive and I couldn't keep anything down. I tried 1,000 different natural remedies such as peppermint tea, ginger, chewing on raw ginger, which that was fun, acupuncture bands, which they recommend for seasickness, B6 vitamins. I even tried Acupuncture. My morning sickness got so bad that I ended up having to go to the hospital, which I tried to avoid so much because I hate hospitals. Isaac ended up having to drag me there. When I got there, I was so dehydrated from vomiting like 20 times that day, and I was just so exhausted. When I arrived at the hospital, they gave me this medication to stop me from vomiting everywhere and an electrolyte, which helped give me a little bit of fluid. I waited about 45 minutes before I was seen, and then they checked my urine and my bloods and saw that I was like pretty dehydrated. So they put me on some IV fluid for about 4 hours, and they prescribed me some morning sickness medication as well as diagnosing me with hyperemesis gravidarum, which is basically severe morning sickness. Some of the symptoms include prolonged vomiting, severe nausea, dehydration, weight loss. So they then prescribed me some medication which I didn't really want to go on, and it took me a long time to try it out, which was like 2 weeks of extra suffering. But I weighed up my options, and it was getting to the point where I was starting to risk my baby's life because of how bad the dehydration was and not being able to keep any of my prenatals down or even eat. I pretty much lived on one slice of Vegemite toast over like a 3-day period. I ended up losing 5 kilos. Don't worry, I put it back on. I hated all foods. Like, the thought of eating anything raw made me so sick. Like, all I wanted was Vegemite toast, and even then, after 3 months, I was so sick of it. I ended up missing my birthday party because I was just so sick. I ended up missing Christmas because I was so sick. I was able to keep a little bit of food down on our engagement party, but that night I went home and just like chucked everything up. Even being on medication, I was just barely surviving. I just remember being so bored in my first trimester. Even though I was in bed for 3 months, I wasn't able to do things that you think you'd like to do, like watch Netflix or read books or any of that, because just looking at a screen or a book or like talking to people would just make me sick. So all I had to do was lie there for 3 months basically and not be able to do anything. There were some days where I scraped myself out of bed and went out because I was just like, I have to leave this house, I've been here for so long. We bought some of our big ticket items in my first trimester. When I say we, I mean Isaac, my partner. We ended up buying the pram. I think I was about between 6 and 8 weeks pregnant. I just remember like looking online and seeing which one I liked, and then my mum suggested going in and testing them out, and they had it reduced from $1,200 to $400, and it was the last one on the storeroom floor, so we ended up buying it. I know people say don't start buying stuff until you hit like 12 weeks, but I am a big believer in the law of attraction. I believe if you attract positive things to you, then you can only get positive outcomes. So that is why I decided to start my baby shopping early. I bought a lot of second-hand items such as the cot and change table. We had to drive an hour and 20 minutes to pick that up, and because I was so sick, I didn't check it, and Isaac being a man, he didn't check it either. When we got it home, it was a piece of shit. I was so disappointed. They made out that it was in immaculate condition. It wasn't. The paint was all chippy and it was dirty. It was just gross. So it even had water damage. We ended up saving the change table and changing shelving. Like, we went to Bunnings and spent the afternoon doing that. Well, I watched Isaac do it whilst being sick, and he slaved away the afternoon trying to fix it. We ended up not worrying about the cot. We still haven't got a cot, and I'm 34 weeks pregnant now. My cousin ended up giving us a lot of stuff, such as like a bassinet, lots of blankets, swaddles, 2 baby bags, heaps of different things. So we pretty much had a lot of the main things already, and I was only like 9 weeks pregnant by this point. I'd say overall the first trimester was so hard. I thought I was physically dying. It's probably the hardest trimester to get through if you're unlucky like me and suffer really bad morning sickness. But what I can say for those who are going through it right now is you will get through it, and it's not the end of the world, and it may feel like you're dying right now, but it will pass. Thanks guys for watching. I'm gonna share some of my first trimester photos I captured during that tough 3 months. Enjoy!